Better to let the light in. It's a new day and the dawn of a fresh story. Plus, there is too much darkness in the world, so it's better. At the rate at which we are going skipping meals, some people will go so thin that Abeni Darego will bow for them. But the problem is, we need food. Food is good for life. Food for life. Food for energy. And food for strength to fight. But then, that is only for those who want to live, fight, and win. Good. Beautiful. They named Rwanda the rape capital of the world after the genocide of 1994. If we don't join hands and do something, Nigeria will soon become the rape capital of the world. I see your eyebrows raised. Oh, we have made progress, right? How long since you were admitted here? Oh, you don't want to tell me? This is at least our 6th meeting. And we have graduated to at least using body language. Maybe one day you will talk to me. We need to stop the evil in our society, but not by slashing our tiny wrist and choosing to remain dead to the world by refusing to talk. Do you know how many rape cases were reported in this state this year? 10? 20? 50? Aha! I can read your mind. Oh, you don't believe I can read your mind? There you go. I caught the twerk of your lips and the smile you were forcing back into hiding. I should be somehow glad that you allow your eyes to move once in a while. Otherwise, by now, I should have returned my certificate as a certified clinical psychologist. You're wrong, you see. You're always wrong. 150? No. As of the last count, it was 104. Oh, I see your eyebrows raised in surprise. Yes. 104 girls violated within 5 months in this year alone. Remember, I said reported cases. What about those who refuse to speak? Like my friend here who only rolls her eyes at me and whose sweet voice I have never heard. There are more unreported cases than the reported ones. You are rolling your eyes at me again. That what? Oh, that I called you my friend? Or that I said your voice is sweet? Or is it about the unreported cases? My friend, you are making my work tougher by this silence of yours. I've succeeded in growing few more gray hairs since I met you. Now see. Okay then. Let us watch Tayo's story. Then I'll leave you for today. I met Tayo through one of our friends when we visited her school on a gender sensitization visit. She has granted me the permission to share her own story to help others.
Hi, my name is Tayo and I'm 15 years old. The only reason I'm telling my story is because I hope it will help someone face life again. I was raped by my boyfriend on our school transport day. After the event, he asked me to walk home with him. I did not hesitate because that wasn't the first time I would be going to their house. On the way, he stopped at the supermarket to get soft drinks and biscuits. So when we got back to the house, he served the drink, and next thing I knew, he was all over me. He tried to kiss me, but I pushed him off. So I took my drink, and I was also playing with my phone. I tried to do a video recording. I guess I must have pressed the record button without knowing, because I was drugged. I don't know how I got home that day, but somehow I did. Later that night, when I became conscious and I remembered all that had happened, I was so ashamed of myself. I got into the bathroom and I scrubbed and scrubbed my body, wishing I could wash away all the experience. I did not go to school for a whole week. I could not face anyone. I did not tell my parents what had happened. I only told them I was sick. And it was easy for them to believe because really I was feeling sick. High temperature, headache, body ache. I really wished I could sleep and not wake up. But in the beginning of the second week, I took up courage and I went back to school, not knowing what to expect. It was there I learned that some other girls were raped at the entire sports day. I also learned that the school authority was taking up the case officially. That day, on my way home with my friend, I saw my boyfriend talking and laughing with his friend. All the while I was not in school, he did not for once check up on me to ask after my welfare. All the love I thought I had for him disappeared in a flash. As he and his friends laughed, I flinched, knowing what he had done to me. I quickly walked past them. This continued for a week. When the whispers and stares were becoming unbearable, I went forward to report to the school authority that I was one of the girls raped that night. My boyfriend was summoned by the panel, headed by Dr. Abeni. He denied that he had raped me, saying I willingly went home with him and that all our friends knew we're boyfriend and girlfriend. When Dr. Abeni questioned me, I showed her the recording on my phone and stated that even though we were boyfriend and girlfriend, I did not agree to have sex with him. I was drugged. Even though I was weak from the effect of the drug, I kept saying no, no, no. The recording on my phone was used as evidence. The panel said it was rape because I said no. See, it didn't matter that it was my boyfriend and I willingly went home with him. It was rape because he forced me, drugged me, and had sex with me without my consent. They even say that having sex with someone who is fast asleep is also rape. And they say that his sentence may be light because he's a minor. But I hope he learns enough lesson not to rape another girl again in his life. And every would-be rapist would remember that they may be locked up in jail for 14 years for such a horrible offense. Anyway, I and other girls are working alongside Dr. Abeni to sensitize students about rape, especially on Valentine's Day and other school special events. We cannot continue to keep quiet about rape.
Thank you very much for your patience for me today. Okay. There's a list in this file. Names of girls who have signed the bill we wish to promote about the gender-based violence, especially the rape and on underage. Before I forget, I would like to show you something else in addition to what I have showed you.
Like I said earlier, we're talking about rape and its effects. Do you know that 1 girl out of 4 in Nigeria is affected by rape? Globally, 1 girl out of 10 is affected by rape. By the way, boys are raped too. Boys have been raped by older males and females, especially caregivers. The act of rape may be committed by a trusted adult, friend, father, brother, relatives. It could also be a teacher, neighbor, houseboy, security man, gateman, driver, motor mechanic, anybody the girl is used to. The rape may be attempted or completed. Do you know that people get sexually transmitted diseases through rape? Children have been conceived through rape. After the genocide in Rwanda, there were about 2,000 to 5,000 children that were born as a result of rape. How do you think a woman will feel towards a baby growing in her that was conceived from rape? I hope I've been able to help you. And I hope you also know that when you refuse to talk, you are helping a criminal get away with his evil deeds. Thank you very much for your rapt attention.
All your tests came back negative. Negative for pregnancy and negative for STIs. Some girls are not so lucky, you know. You are 1 out of 4. Part of the 25% of girls affected by rape. If those girls made it, you too can make it. You can live above your pain, above shame and above the dark thoughts. While you are doing that, girl, I want you to know that it wasn't your fault. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time and with the wrong person. Good night.
The address of the wrong place is 24 Park Road. The name of the wrong person is Marty. His mom is my mom's best friend, and his sister is my best friend. Wrong person, wrong place, wrong place.
Good morning. My name is Yomi Adeyoju. Good morning. My name is Yomi Adeyoju. I am the founder and CEO of Skoldek. My name is Yomi Adeyoju.
Good morning, Miss Adeyoju. We will have your pitch now. This is the final stage, so I hope you're ready.
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma.
Mr. Adeyoju, what do you know about the Federal Industry Grant Scheme?
Well, I know the Federal Industry Grant is a federal government scheme for innovators in Nigeria, sir.
Okay. Please present your pitch.
Thank you, sir. Well, good morning once more. My name is Yomi Adeyoju, the founder and CEO of Skoldek. I am here seeking a grant of 7 million naira from the Federal Industry Grant Scheme.
Are you from Ekiti?
Yes, sir. Emure Ekiti to be precise, sir.
No wonder you are from my hometown. I know your family very well.
Thank you, sir.
You may please proceed.
Yes, sir. As I said, Skoldek is an innovative mobile app for daycare and nursery school teachers as well as parents. You know, most of us here are parents of children in nursery schools and daycares, and some of us are brothers and uncles to these children. We wish we could keep an eye on these children and know what they are learning in school. Sometimes we want to go back home and continue with this process while we keep an eye on the quality of their education. This is where Skoldek comes in.
So who pays for this service?
The school, they pay, sir. This is how it works. The ward teachers and the parents sign up to this app. And then they can interact even during working hours. You know, they can send pictures, they can send videos and some of the things happening around school. And there will also be a deck to help the teachers do some of their schoolworks, like mark attendance, data management, and of course, update timetables.
Very interesting.
Thank you, sir.
This is very good.
So, this is like creating a WhatsApp group, right?
No, it's not. But this Skoldek has a feature that saves time and money. This is how the feature works.
Won't these features be too technical for some teachers and parents?
Well, yes, of course, they are technical at first, but constant use and consistent tutorial will help them get used to it, sir.
This is very good.
Thank you, sir.
It's very good.
Thank you.
Mr. Adeyoju,
Yes, sir.
thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Please give us a minute.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Hello? Hello, Yomi Alpha. Sure, you won't put me for trouble. I was making the presentation when your message came in. Alpha.
Ah, bad boy. How is it going?
The guys on the panel are just old school.
Just use that style, choke them for corner. Give them some tips, the Nigerian way.
What if they don't want the tip now?
Give them something.
Thanks, Baba. I just go. Yeah.
Mr. Adeyoju,
Yes, sir.
we have looked through your budget. And we want to confirm if there's any clarification you wish to make on it.
Well, none, sir.
Are you sure?
Very sure, sir.
The federal government introduced this scheme to create job opportunities. I am not convinced that your application can create job opportunities.
Well, it can, sir, because it needs several teams to make this work optimally, sir.
Well, That is not stated in your presentation.
I have to agree with the boss on this one. It's just like having a WhatsApp group.
So, you fix it.
Oh. Okay, sir. I will fix it, sir.
Good. Now that you understand you have to fix it, you fix it. And once you fix it, then we can proceed.
Sir, if you don't mind, I can fix it right now, sir.
You fix it?
Well, because I initially planned to give 10% of the 7 million naira to your committee, sir. And sir, if the 10% doesn't work, I can push to 15%. Though it will alter some of the implementation of this project, but this is Nigeria, sir.
Young man,
sir.
We don't do that in this organization.
In Nigeria. Well, you don't have to, sir. I understand how it works totally, ma. This is Nigeria.
You are quite desperate.
Very desperate, sir. Because this is Nigeria.
This is how Nigeria works?
And I'm old enough to know, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. And again, sir, if I might say any other thing, you know, we are both from the same hometown. If you can help me on this, sir.
I also want to help you.
Thank you, sir.
Especially because we are all Nigerians. And this is how Nigeria works.
Exactly.
And we are from the same hometown.
To be precise, sir.
To be precise. Yes, Mr. Adeyoju, you have missed this opportunity. You gave a very good presentation. We are all impressed with your presentation. And we were ready to approve your pitch until you suggested this. Young man, this is not how Nigeria works. No. This is how you and people like you have made Nigeria to work. But thank God, not everybody is a thief. We are no thieves.
Sir, actually, first, I am sorry, sir. And secondly, it was a mistake.
Mr. Adeyoju, this is no mistake. Whatever you do, at any point in time, you are presenting your real personality to other people. You have just given us a presentation of who you are to this committee. Mr. Adeyoju, you will have to get out of here and quickly go. Sir. Because as soon as I finish with this, my tea, I'm going to call the police on you. All right? Get out!
Yes, sir.
Now, Yomi is here. Yomi, my guy. Come on. Let's pop champagne. Let's pop champagne. You're a man. You deserve a drink.
Sola, didn't I tell you not to pop anything?
You said we shouldn't pop, and then we popped. So, Yomi, I am beginning not to understand you. Is it that they postponed the meeting?
No.
Okay, they cut the budget. That's how it does when he hits the jackpot. Dead.
Guys, wait. We were wrong. Shola, whatever you told me over the phone, you were wrong. This is Nigeria. We have to fix it to a better Nigeria.
I love happy endings and romance stories, but I've also observed strained marriages and unions that seem more like heavy yokes than loving bonds. I would love to settle down, have a loving husband and adorable kids. I wish my mother would understand this and just let me be until the right person and the right time comes. I don't want to be a desperate bride and a desperate housewife. I want a companion, a friend, not a sparring mate. I'm not asking for Mr. Perfect. None of us is perfect. All I want is to marry my friend, not someone who will claim to love me but physically and mentally abuse me. So let's see if this date tonight will bring me close to that dream.
Aduni. Ma.
Good morning, Maami.
Every one of your mates is married. With at least 3 kids. Look at you, still single, living under my roof, doing what you like. It must be you Korede Bello is talking to when he said, "Sure, you won't discover Mongo Park."
Maami, we've been over this topic for quite some time now. And you keep saying all my friends are married. Do you know how many of my friends are married but frustrated?
Married and frustrated. Why won't they be? When they are all married for all the wrong reasons. Look at you, at your age, still single and living at home. What about that young man that comes here in the red car?
Comes there in a red car? Maami.
What am I supposed to say? I do not want to be accused of influencing your choice. If not, I would have spoken since. Why does he not enter the house whenever he comes here? Is our sitting room not good enough for him?
Something like that, Maami. He once told me that if we are to get married, he's going to get a venue for our introduction or momimo. As his friends and relations, they cannot come over to this side of the town.
Not only is the road bad, Maami, but he doesn't want the street urchins to smear their cars with their dirty hands. God forbid, Maami. Any home that will be too good that my mother is not welcome to stay in is not too good for me. Do you know what he said to me the last time he came? Maami, he said he does not even know why it's taking me so long to consider his proposal. That so many ladies are dying to have him talk to them.
So maybe we should help the ladies. Or are you in love with his royal rudeness and pride?
No, Maami. If someone thinks he's too good for me, then I would rather look for someone that is not too good for me but good enough for me.
Such effrontery. What makes him think he's too good for you? He's inherited wealth, money he did not work for. Can money buy happiness?
Don't go over there, oh, Maami. Don't say that to people of my generation. To them, money can buy happiness.
In that case, go and marry him for his money and have your family looked down upon by him. He will treat you like a merchandise, bought, acquired, and being improved upon. But wait, I have a better candidate. What about Chief Oluwa? Imagine if you marry Chief Oluwa.
My head forbids it. Well, he's rich, but he's old, and his harem is full of quarrelsome wives. Although he promised to get an apartment for me, but I don't want to die of loneliness, Maami, or have one rabid wife come over and rain curses on me.
That's a tough one. I don't want to go into an already troubled water. Many wives, many children, and obviously lack of harmony in a home like that with no respect.
You are right, Maami. You know, love without respect is risky, and everyone deserves some measures of respect, no matter the circumstances they are.
Speaking of respect, what about that young man, Lawal? We haven't seen him here in a while. Or did you send him away?
Maami, do your eyes ever miss anything? I didn't invite Olawale into this house in the first place. I could not have sent him away. And I wasn't forthcoming where he was concerned after I heard the story.
He has a story. That good-looking young man who would always prostrate fully as if he did not go to school has a story.
Maami, even the devil will not go to church with horns in his head. Forget the fact that he prostrates. How does the saying goes? Like, Oyo dubule, inu enoru. Maami, if you see Olawale when he's angry, you will know that one can prostrate more than a gamma lizard and still be wicked. See, a friend of a friend who stays in the same compound with Olawale told us how he beat his former girlfriend up and stripped her naked in the middle of the night, Maami. It was the neighbor that gave her a wrapper.
This is where you young people of nowadays miss it. What was she doing in his house in the middle of the night? Naked too. Did he already take yam to her family?
Maami, if it was wrong for her to be in his house at odd hours and naked, by your judgments, are you saying it was right for him to beat and strip her naked? What could she have done? How can someone be so quick to prostrate and quick to assault at the same time? Maami, you keep saying all my friends are married. Would you not be happier to see me alive and single than married and mutilated?
My God forbids it. It is not your portion. Not all married people are frustrated though. There are still some young men out there. And you're a good child too.
Maami, That's the problem. It seems the good women end up in bad marriages. I don't understand and I can't explain it, but it just so happens. Do you remember the case of the female lawyer that was accused of stabbing her husband to death? Maami, everybody that knows her testifies to the fact that she is calm and level-headed. How can one explain that a calm and level-headed person is being charged of manslaughter?
This is getting scary and complicated. What is this world turning into? My generation didn't have it this bad.
Maami, if truth be told, your generation had it worse. People stayed in abusive, joyless marriage and completely lost their minds and destinies, all because of my children, my children. This generation appears bedeviled because most women choose to stay alive rather than endure oppressive marriages.
You are right, Aduni. But the Holy Book tells us that God hates divorce.
Maami, the Holy Book says God is love, and he who does not love does not know God. Maami, go and read your Holy Book well. There is somewhere in it that says God hates oppression, and I'm sure he hates oppression more than he hates divorce. To leave.
Aduni, sit down. I am sure that you are the one who added that bit about God hates oppression. I've never seen it before. But I get your point. I get your point. You are not going to leave single and remain under my roof. I am quite sure that there is a young, God-fearing, loving, good-looking, hard-working, female-respecting male out there looking for his missing rib.
Maami, you forget to add tall, handsome, macho, great cook, and big spender.